So let's move on to how can you find content for your Instagram account. So we first need to start with understanding that there are two ways to produce content for your Instagram account. A lot of people struggle with this, and this really is the core of increasing your reach on Instagram. Remembering the Instagram Canon graph that I've showed you. So you need to make sure that you are putting out high quality content for people to actually discover your Instagram profile. There's two ways you can do it. You can, one, find Instagram content, or you can create your own Instagram content. So finding other people's content and reposting it, this is how you find Instagram content. So finding Instagram content allows you to see if it will be successful based on the results of the original posting. That's a really big upside to it. It also is a lot easier than creating a lot of content, and the other way to do it is obviously creating your own content and posts, so amending and editing already successful content, which we'll be talking about in the next lecture. And why we actually create our own content instead of just finding it all the time would be to personalize it further to specifically target your market and promote your own business. So what I need to talk to you about before we jump into this lecture may already be on your mind. We're going to be finding content, which means we're going to be using other people's content on our Instagram profile. So we need to talk about image ownership and licensing, and do you have the right to do this on your Instagram account? So I've dedicated an entire lecture to this for you to understand the image licensing and video licensing on Instagram right now. And I want you to assume until I talk to you about that we have full rights to use everybody's content. So, how do you hit a golf ball as far as possible? A random question it may seem like, but it's very critical in understanding how you can get as many likes as possible or get as much engagement as possible on your Instagram posts. So, how do you hit a golf ball as far as possible? There are three main factors that determine how far you can actually hit the ball. One is the ball, two is the club, and three is the swing. So, what we need to know is we need to actually know how far people are hitting golf balls. So if you're a professional golfer, you're actually hitting a golf ball 300 yards on average, which is incredible. So they've obviously got a good ball, a good golf club, and a good swing. However, there's a world record drive, and it's 515 yards, which is almost double the professional golfer's average. And this here is an anomaly. When you look at a lot of professionals and a lot of big people in the golfing world driving golf balls 300 yards, and you look at an anomaly such as Mike Austin in 1974, who hit 515 yards, you got to be asking, what is he doing differently? How does he outperform his competition so vastly when it's hitting a golf ball? And this is the world record Mike Austin swing when he actually hit the golf ball. And you can see frame by frame exactly what he did in his swing to hit it so far. This here, a couple of amateur golfers, I don't know if you can tell, who have not hit the golf ball very far at all. And you can see the difference between these people is 515 yards and 0 yards. So you need to be asking yourself, what are the three factors that go into driving the golf ball as far as possible, like in Mike Austin's 1974 golf swing, and the shortest drive checklist. So if you want to get a golf ball to go as short as possible, you want to use a plastic ball, a childlike swing, and a toy golf club like in those examples. If you want the golf ball to go as far as possible, you're going to need whatever ball Mike Austin used. So we're going to say it's a top flight ball. You're going to need his exact swing, and you're going to need his exact club. And if you can match these three factors, you too can hit a golf ball as far as Mike Austin. So, similar to this, because this is an Instagram course, for maximum exposure on your content, you first must model the content that is already proven to be successful. So what is your longest drive checklist for your Instagram content? Here is a post by Gary Vee, which has gone a long way. It's got a lot of engagement on it, and you need to understand what factors went into this to get it to go as far as possible. Here's our shortest drive checklist, and you can see that it did not get a lot of engagement on this post. It was not very successful, and you need to then break these factors down into the shortest drive checklist. So when we're doing this to content over and over, we're going to start to see a pattern. So I want to do it for you, not for you, I'm not going to run your Instagram account for you, but I want to do it with you to show you how you can go off and do it on your own, and how we get such incredible engagement strategies, engagement numbers on our content. So we need to know what factors determine a successful viral piece of content for you. I have to say, before we do break this down a little bit further, that you have to remember it's going to depend on your niche. So whether you're in the chemistry, the basketball, the chicken, or the cooking niche, it's going to be very different, which is why you need to be able to have the skill to find the Mike Austin swing, to find the longest drive in your niche in order to see what's working in your niche, and you can replicate those results in your niche, because every single niche is going to be different. So that leads us to the question, how do we actually go out there and find the best performing viral content in your niche, or the Mike Austin swing of your niche? 1, we can use Viral Discover, which I'm going to break that down in just a second. 2, we can use hashtags. Or 3, we can use the success cheat sheet that you've put together in order to shortcut these results. So 1, the Discover or the Explore tab is the little magnifying glass that you can see at the bottom of your Instagram screen. And what happens here is Instagram curate posts that are selected on things you like and people you follow. And it's also based on what people you follow are liking and what is popular in your niche. So this is exactly the place we want to go to find out what's popular in your niche, because we're going to be able to see it just like this. It's going to spoon feed us what has been successful, what people have liked that are in our niche, and what has gone viral that is in our niche. So all you have to do is you have to go over to that Discover tab, and you'll see a grid of images like this. Now, for this example, I'm using a entrepreneurship account that we run, and this is what the grid looks like for that account. So this tab, by just clicking on that magnifying glass, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. And just every time you click on an image, every time you click on the Discover tab and refresh, you're going to see a whole new world of ideas and potential content that you can model and post for yourself that you know has proven to have already been successful. But before you go ahead and start using this content or modeling this content, you actually need to ask yourself, why did this post do well? So, is it because A, it's from a large account, or is it because B, it's viral content? You have to remember that large accounts are going to get a lot of engagement on their content, really no matter how high quality or viral it is. So remember, we're looking for viral content. We want to reach as many people as possible. So we need to know that this post wasn't just made from a really big account, because then we can't actually replicate the results it's got just using the content. We'd also need a big account. So we need to find these this content that does well regardless of the account size that it comes from. So how do we do that? All we do is we go into the Instagram profile. So we then click from the content back to the profile that posted it, and we can compare it to the rest of the posts that Instagram account has actually posted. For example, example A, they've got 2 million followers and all of their posts have really high engagement, except for the actual one that you've clicked on and discovered, or even if that had equally high engagement, you could see that it's just another post that's done well because the Instagram account is big. In example B, you can see it's an account that's much smaller, and the rest of the content doesn't have the engagement that the actual viral content does. So you can tell that you've actually struck gold because it outperforms all the other content that account is posting. So A really quick tip before we move on: if that piece of content doesn't outperform the engagement on all the other posts that account is posting, have a look around and see on that profile which one did, and you can use that content instead of the one that took you to that page in the first place. So here it is, the process laid out for you, very simple, how to have endless viral content for your Instagram account in your niche. You go to the Discover tab and choose a post that performed well. B, you look at the user who posted the image, and C, you test it to see if it's gold or just another okay post from a large account. Once you have this, you will be having the viral content and the golden content that you can go and share on your own account. So 2 is hashtags. So hashtags, we're going to get into depth in the next few modules, but basically hashtags are an incredibly powerful way to find viral content in your niche. Incredibly powerful. Once again, we're going to get in depth on hashtags. There's a lot of things you can do with them, and they're very critical to growing quickly on Instagram. But right now, I want you to know we're only looking at hashtags within the lens of finding viral content. So, hashtags are searchable ways to categorize content on Instagram. For example, hashtag cat. It's a searchable way that you can type in hashtag cat or click hashtag cat, and you will see photos of cats. It's basically categorizing content. So, you need to know what categories and words are relevant to the content of your business, because these are the ones that'll become relevant hashtags that'll help you grow your account. For the example of mine, I've got hashtag entrepreneur, hashtag lifestyle, hashtag motivation, and we can use these hashtags to actually go and see which accounts are similar to us and are also using these hashtags, and therefore see what type of content they're posting and use their content, find and share their content. So, once again, if I search hashtag entrepreneur, it's going to open up another world of opportunity for us to explore. And what you can do is the exact same process as with the viral and discover tab. So all you need to do this time is go to your search tab and actually search for the hashtag. When you do that, you're going to have the whole new world of content and opportunity for you to explore. You're going to be able to click on the content on the Discover tab, look at the user who posted the image, and search for gold. Is it performing really well because it's a big account, or is it performing really well because it is actually golden viral content? So, this is where you can go now and use your results booklet to find gold. This is the third way that you can actually discover how to find viral golden content that's going to absolutely take your account's reach to the next level. You go into your booklet and you use the accounts that you've written down already, ones that are similar to you in your niche, and you can actually go and have a look how well their content is performing. So, before we move on, it's very important that you don't actually just go and look for content that has the most engagement. This is really only good if you're trying to post engaging posts that increase your reach and increase the amount of people who follow you. You want to also be out there looking for content that you can model that is building trust and affinity, or ones that are shown to create sales in your competitors and in people in your niche. Because finding content, we need to find all three types of content. The example I walked you through was the best one to find high engagement and high reach. But you have to remember, you can also find high trust and high sales content that are really effective and going to help push people through your funnel. So, learning the Mike Austin swing. You need to make sure that you are decoding what it takes in your niche to be successful. So, the Mike Austin swing, you need the same ball, you need the same club, and you need the same swing. And if you have those three factors and you hit the ball the same way he hit it, with the same club and the same ball, you're going to get the same result as he got. So, you need to, inside your niche, learn the code of what succeeds. as you go through and you repeat this process lots and lots of times and get a lot of viral content for yourself, you're going to actually be able to see the factors underlying what makes it successful. So maybe it's good music in the background of a video. Maybe it's motivating and fast-paced video with a really good hook, meaning on the text above the video saying you'll never guess what happens at 25 seconds of this video. And you've hooked people in for 25 seconds now. And you need to actually keep your eye out there. Keep your eye out there. Make sure you're keeping your eye on what is the underlying factors that are making your content succeed, because then you'll become a homing missile for viral content, and you'll be able to really identify really quickly what is making that account grow really quickly, and you'll be able to model your own content and create your own content around what is guaranteed to be successful once you've decoded exactly the factors that go into a viral piece of content for your niche.